The next day was a busy one for Mary. In the first place, she was closeted for at least 2 hours after breakfast with Miss Tremlett, and, whatever might be the subject of their conversation, it appeared to end satisfactorily, for when it was over, Mary embraced her old friend very cordially, saying, "I feel more grateful, much more grateful, than I have words to express, Nurse Tremlett, and never shall I forget your kindness to me." After this they drove to the entrance of Hoxley Lane, and there walked thence to pay a farewell visit to Mrs. Armstrong, and where it was evident that, however wild the project might be which the heiress had conceived, she knew how to be discreetly silent concerning them. For after bestowing upon the widow a gratuity sufficient to supply all her wants for a longer time than she proposed to be absent, she took leave of her, saying, "You will not see me again, Miss Armstrong, for a week or more. I am engaged to go home for that time, but I shall take care that Edward shall receive as much attention at school as if I were at home. Be sure also that my absence will not make me the less mindful of Mchl. Neither at home or abroad shall I cease to employ every means in my power to obtain intelligence concerning him." To Edward, whom she visited at the school, she gave the same assurance, adding an earnest injunction that he should keep in mind the necessity of exerting himself both for the industrious prosecution of his studies and the not less important regulation of his mind on the subject of his brother's absence, the welfare of his mother greatly depending upon both. Weakness of every kind seemed to vanish before the powerful stimulant thus offered, and she left her little protégé comforted and invigorated by the belief that he had a great duty to perform, and that his mother was the object of it. The preparations for her own and her friends' convenience during the journey were very simple, but they puzzled her maid considerably. First, it was so very odd that she should be going out upon a visit, and take absolutely no dinner dresses with her at all. And secondly, it was, if possible, odder still that she should not take her. But Mary listened to all the hints and innuendoes to which these feelings gave rise with a sort of gentle indifference, which was doubtless very provoking, till at length she was induced to damp the curiosity which she feared might prove inconveniently active during her absence, by saying, "I am going to visit the family of a clergyman, Morgan, and as much dress will not be necessary. I shall not want you." This was perfectly satisfactory. A clergyman's family, where much dress would not be necessary, was where the lady's maid never did, nor never could, want to go. Nothing could have been more judicious than these explanatory words. They accorded perfectly with the report of the servants who attended the carriage, and so completely satisfied the household that, though it was the first absence of so long duration that she had made from her home since she became mistress of it, it fortunately led to no gossiping whatsoever. We must not pause to describe the pleasant sociable evening passed by our travellers at the house of Mr. Bell, nor even relate all that was said in the course of it concerning the expedition they were about to undertake. Every instruction, every hint which Mr. Bell believed might be useful, he gave clearly and succinctly, and not a word of it was lost upon Mary.